Good evening, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of NightMayr with your host. That's me, Chrissie Mayr. Gosh, I have a wonderful guest in studio tonight. But before I bring him on, I have a couple of comedy shows to promote. I'll be doing stand-up in Long Island, August 8th and 9th at the Brokerage. And I got more gigs coming up in Ohio, San Diego, Phoenix, other places. Go to my website, chrissiemayr.com now for tickets. And also, Content House is coming up in about 6 weeks. We are taking over the Villa Roma Resort upstate in Callicoon, New York, and you guys can come be a part of it. Reserve your room now at villaroma.com. Click on the group reservation button, put my name down as the group code. That will take you to our room block, and then you can reserve your room. You can come on the 3rd, you can stay through the 7th, you can come just on the weekend. It's up to you. It's going to be so much fun. Come hang out with all your favorite YouTube streamers, comedians, or if you just don't like any of us, just come hang out with us anyway. Heckle us by the pool. And you can come to a bunch of ticketed events, all of which you can buy tickets for on Eventbrite. You can see Dave Landau headlining Thursday night with Lila Hart. You can see live Who Are These Podcasts on Friday. You can see Rich Voss headlining with Gerard Michaels. You can see Candace Horbox on Saturday for a live chatting with Candace. And then Saturday night show is going to be the Compound Media stand-up comedy sort of reunion show with myself, Gino Bisconti, Keanu Thompson, and Anthony Cumia will be there, guesting on the other shows as well. What else am I forgetting? There's hot tubs, outdoor pools, zip line, bumper boats, go-karts. It's going to be so much fun. It's the last weekend of the summer. Well, I don't know. I feel like the summer goes through the end of September. Who cares? Get your tickets now, villaroma.com, Eventbrite for the events, and we will see you there at Content Hotel. Without further ado, I am welcoming for the first time in person, in studio, literally one of the smartest guys I know, famous lawyer, famous YouTube lawyer, famous New Yorker. Welcome to NightMayr, Mr. Ron Coleman.
It is really my pleasure to join you, except for the part of how you just dropped this bomb on me.
Uh-oh.
Right before we went live.
Oh, no.
About the baby.
Look, I didn't sleep train him. I don't have the heart to just sit there and sit outside his room and listen to him cry himself to sleep.
I don't have the heart to raise him to be a normal person.
Oh my God.
I want him to have to sleep with a mommy or a daddy in his bed until...
He'll grow out of it, right? I'm sure at some point before 30, he'll be like, you know what? I'll sleep in my own bed.
Out of that into bedwetting.
No, you're not correlating co-sleeping with bedwetting.
No, unless he kills animals.
No, he loves animals. He knows what a pig is. He knows what a cow is. He met a cow this week.
That is so cute.
Mm-hmm.
That is so cute.
He loves bunnies.
Babies are so cute.
He's the best, and he's really walking now. He can walk across a room. We took him to Quasi Park in Connecticut today, and he was just toddling along.
Quasi Park?
Yeah, it almost sounds like it's not a park. They named it. No, it's not quasi. It's sort of a park. It's it's Quassy.
You know, there's a town in New Jersey called Cheesequake.
I love Cheesequake. In fact, the Cheesequake was one of my favorite rest stops of all time.
They renamed Cheesequake.
They took them all down, and now they're
named them after this, some of the sleaziest people in show business.
The Bon Jovi rest stop is one of my favorites.
And what's the name? The dead chick?
Amy Winehouse?
No, that would be funny.
I would love the Amy Winehouse rest stop. You go there, buy drugs.
I want to dance with somebody.
I want to feel the heat with somebody. With Tina Turner?
No. She could be Tina Turner's granddaughter, but she is dead. How do we not... Chad.
We're talking about the rest stops in New Jersey, yes?
Yeah. No, but you know the song.
With somebody 80s, who 90s. Loves me. Whitney Houston?
Whitney Houston. And also Tony Soprano.
This mic stand is cutting off your beautiful face. Wait, now it's like the microphone should not be pointed at your genitalia. Okay. Oh, God, like that. Okay.
Okay, so we learned...
Matt, why didn't you catch this earlier?
Because we learned in the stage that the audience may not be Okay, we pretend you and I. You don't have to see me, but all right. Listen, this works better.
I have to see you. I can't just talk to the fern.
No one has ever compared me to a fern. That is something I can affirm.
A fern?
With tremendous. Nice. Oh, yeah, I get points for that. That's really quiet, by the way. This show that you're having and all the fancy people who are going to be there and all those people.
At Content Hotel?
Amazing.
Thank you. If you're not doing anything, come hang. Everyone loves to have a lawyer by the pool.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Something legal happens.
Something illegal is always happening.
That's true.
It's the illegal.
There's also probably going to be a lot of illegal things happening too. There's going to be a lot of comedians there.
And we know how comedians are so reckless.
They are.
I mean, really, Sam Kinison is the spirit of Lenny Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
BS.
My favorite thing, we were talking about Michael Malice before we hit go, are funny people who are not comedians, because I don't know. It's like,
well, let me just point out to you, most funny people are in fact not comedians.
That's true. It's the ones that have some daddy issues that go. And that's what's really, I've realized OnlyFans has probably taken a chunk out of our numbers, because all the pretty women with daddy issues who would have gone into stand-up comedy have now gone into OnlyFans. I think so.
You think they're getting naked instead?
Because you can make so much money.
You can't.
You can be a millionaire in like a year. I don't know, in a couple years.
Only if you're in the top 1%. A lot of people make less than minimum wage, which is
that's true.
Sad.
I have a lot of friends who do it, and but they're all like top earners. But yeah,
really. But that's because you know.
I'm not friends with schlubs.
That's why you know them.
Yeah.
It's not that. Amazingly.
Oh no, I'm not friends with them because they're good at OnlyFans.
No. Well, you kind of are. It's not like by an amazing statistical anomaly. It's friends of Chrissie Mayr in which we find the highest incidence of people who make a lot of money.
It's
on
knowing
OnlyFans.
Me that like.
Chrissie, are you a recruiter?
Are you a Ghislaine? No. I don't know. This conversation's off the rails already.
I don't know how we got here.
I don't know either. We were supposed to be talking about you were shaming me for not sleep training the baby.
We didn't really sleep train. Like there was when we were raising children in the 90s. There was a very popular book about sleep training that was really, really good. We didn't really stick.
What's it called? Go the fuck to sleep. That's a children's book.
That might be a real book.
No,
it is a real book.
Okay, that sounded really
a coloring book.
No, it's like a child. It's a bedtime book for kids.
I forgot what it was called. It was the 90s after all.
The best decade.
We didn't even have all 26 letters yet. Okay. You do have to. They're going to have to cry a little bit. They're going to have to cry. You're giving them a lifetime of confidence and independence. But it's still early.
But also, and they've done studies on this, the benefits you get from co-sleeping, they're more emotionally secure. I don't know. I can't rattle them off now, but there are benefits. They trust you more. Like apparently they get trust issues if you just leave them in there to fend for themselves.
Well, you can't leave them there for there's a point of desperation.
Yeah.
But then there's also this whole
babies, they're the only species that are aware of their vulnerability. Human babies, only species that are aware of their vulnerability. And they cry because I'm going to get attacked. Thanks a lot, Mom and Dad. You've left me in here by myself.
Babies are amazing.
They really are. They really are. I suggest everybody have a baby, even if you're scared.
Or have your spouse have a baby. It's not forever. Half the people are not cut out for it. Like
men can't give birth.
This is one of those programs.
But even if you could, you would suck at it because you're very tough in many ways and very strong and competent in many ways, but like when it comes to physical discomfort, like when men get sick, you guys turn into literal babies.
This is the trump card. Women in the childbirth. This is the trump card every time. Even though you can't kill a spider. Even though
we just choose not to.
Even though the heat has to be on 74. Even though you can't change it to all the things, but childbirth, as if you chose. As if you chose to be the one who had the baby.
To get knocked up. I mean, you did the thing that got you knocked up.
I remember when Jane doesn't like me to tell this.
Tell her. She's not going to listen to this.
That is true. She likes me. We've been married. We were like the last people to get married in the 80s.
Ooh.
December 26th, 1989.
The day after Christmas?
Only Jews get married the day because you can't. What
did you have at the wedding? Chinese food? No, wait, that's the day after. Just kidding.
Yeah, right. Christmas. No, you're thinking of Yom Kippur or something like that.
No,
yeah.
Because Jews all have Chinese food on Christmas.
On Christmas?
Right?
Well, not our kind of Jews. Anyway, it was. Why was we?
December 26th when you got married.
When we got married. What were we talking about that for?
You were feeling tentative about sharing a personal story about your wife because something about childbirth. You raised your kids in the 90s.
So when she was getting ready to give birth to our oldest, she said, listen, I don't go in for any of this natural childbirth stuff.
She was not down for the natural stuff?
Just knock me out.
Drugs.
And the doctor said, Mrs. Coleman, we don't do that.
You can't. Who's giving birth in an unconscious state? Is that even possible?
Well, evidently it is because, like, everyone my age was born that way.
What? How? Yeah. You're just laying there asleep and they pull it out of you?
No, they can't. They don't pull. I don't know. I was there, but my recollection of it.
Did you hold a leg? Did you help? Were you pushing on the stomach?
So I was a very, very advanced child, but I don't really recall the day of my
not
birth.
You being birthed, like the day of your wife giving birth to your kids.
My wife didn't even want me in the room.
If I were to do it again, I would say the same. Frank saw too much. He's traumatized. He looked right into the eye of the storm. He saw
so that we don't
all the blood.
So Jewish people, traditional Jewish people we're not allowed to do.
It's smart. You should not see. There's certain things you shouldn't know.
That's why we have such big families.
You shouldn't see how the donuts are made in that respect. Like it's just
really very few kinds of donuts really should be seen in the makeage.
Yeah, it should be. You should be there for when things go in, not there for when things come out.
Well, I was in the room.
Okay.
She regretted that as
just
well.
Just clapping in the corner, like, keep going.
I was frankly, I didn't know why I was in there. Oh, no, the first one I wasn't because that
Feed her ice chip.
That was an emergency. The second one, it was with the twins.
You had twins? That's cool.
I have antithetical twins.
What does that mean?
They're beyond
Don't make me
fraternal.
Google words here.
Well, it's identical twins. It's fraternal twins.
Antithetical.
These twins couldn't. It's like Danny DeVito and
Arnold Schwarzenegger
twin. Actually, as they ripened into manhood, they converged a little bit. The funny thing is that none of them, not one of them, looks like me. But to strangers, they look at them and say, "Oh, they look just." And believe me, they do not look like me.
How old are they now?
Good looking.
They don't look like me because they're good looking.
No, these are good looking lads.
Oh, good job.
So the youngest one is, the twins are both going to be 28 in October. And the oldest one is 34, almost 34. They're fine men.
Aw, proud daddy.
My troops.
All dudes? All sons?
Dudes. Oh.
Yeah. Lucky.
The testosterone just dripped
through the roof.
The wall.
They're just punching holes in the walls left and right.
So what then happened when we had grandchildren? The first 4 were girls. And now it's still overwhelmingly girls to boys. Which is great for my wife, because she gets to buy them the pretty things.
Aww.
And gets to have, but she doesn't have to raise girls.
Right. Which is so scary now, because you have to I did a stand-up set last night, and I was just talking to a guy in the audience like, who has a daughter. Yeah, your job is to keep her from being on OnlyFans. And I just struck terror into him. Felt bad.
Gosh, that would never even have occurred to me.
That's your number one. If you're raising a girl right now, that's your number one priority. Used to be like, keep them from being a stripper, but now it's like, don't let them post nudes online.
To be honest, I don't know anyone whose daughter became a stripper or went on OnlyFans.
They probably wouldn't tell you. But
maybe the crowds I'm running in are a little different than your kind of friends.
Well, that's a distinct possibility. But it's
scary to raise girls.
Well, I wasn't even coming on to that. Just that raising girls is, because I see what my sons have to go through. So I
with dating, you mean?
No, the oldest one is barely 10. No, I mean, they whine a lot.
Girls do?
They whine a lot. And by the way, these are really good kids. But mommy won't.
Just bitching constantly.
Whereas boys, and really this is how they grow up to be. Boys, they slug it out. It's over. The one who wins, and we move on.
That's great. That's the way to be.
It's the way to be. I remember first realizing that Cheers, remember that television program from broadcast days?
The producer's a Gen Zer. He may have to look that up, but it was a show about a bar in Boston. It's where Kirstie Alley got her start.
About a bunch of people in a bar
where everyone knew their name.
No, I couldn't. I mean, to me, my father never went to bars. He went after work. He came home.
Yes, my dad drank eight Heinekens on the floor of the living room and put his feet up. Fell asleep that way.
Oh, but he did drink when he came home
every night. Every night, because he's a landscaper. His back always hurt.
Goyim.
What does that mean? Alcoholic?
No, Gentiles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You never heard the word Goyim before? It's all over social media.
I know. I just don't know what all the words mean.
A goy is the singular.
I'm trying to learn.
You've heard of goy?
Goy is like you're a Christian, but you're cool.
No, it just means you're not Jewish. You might not be cool. You're cool. Most people are cool. I
know that you need a goy to turn the elevator, to push an elevator button
Shabas
for you.
Goy.
Okay.
A Shabas goy. A Shabas goy helps Jewish people out in certain very narrow categories of things. Like, you're not allowed to have a Shabas goy.
It's like an internship. No?
No, more like a slave.
Indentured servant, maybe?
Well, the point is, there are, as a general rule, there are all these things we can't do on the Sabbath. You may not employ a Gentile to do them for you. That would really...
So you can't pay someone to run your microwave for you?
No. Well, especially the cooking of food. But there are certain things that are only rabbinically prohibited, that under certain circumstances you can ask someone who is not Jewish to do for you in order to avoid a loss or harm to another person, that sort of thing. We're not going there. But that's what a Shabbos goy does.
I find that so interesting.
Well,
and
it
cool.
is. It is, and it's very. This is so. You may have seen reference on the interwebs to the Talmud as well.
Okay.
So, Talmudic being the adjective, that's where we. That's
like your Bible.
Out all the. No, we have a Bible. It's called the Bible.
Right. You should have the Old Testament.
Right. The big one. But in order to understand the words in the Bible, which standing by themselves, and in this regard, we're really quite a bit like Catholics, who say, "Don't open that and try to figure out what to do, because you're never going to understand it. Let a scholar explain to you what to do."
I don't know. That sounds like legacy media. Like, don't you listen to Trump's speech. Let us explain to you what he said.
Well, that's an excellent point. The difference is that you have to have people that you can trust, people who are inspired by the Lord. And then there are so many different things in the world of spirituality.
It's true. I'm converting to Catholicism. I'm in like CCD right now. It's not called CCD. It's called like OICA, OCIA.
Is that like a commercial driver's license?
No, it's something. Oh, I should really know what this stands for at this point.
So what's CCD? That's what happens.
It's what the kids have to take. It's like Catholic. Oh God, I should remember. Catholic something class.
Is it catechism?
No.
Confraternity of Christian Doctrine.
Okay, and then what does OCIA stand for? Because that's what I'm in right now. Something Catholic. No, I don't know.
Order of Christian Initiation for Adults.
That's it. I'm being initiated. And it's actually pretty chill. It's just 2 Sundays a month from now till Easter.
It's becoming very in to become Catholic.
It's more hardcore because I was raised Methodist and I felt it's like Diet Coke Christianity. You're like, you can kind of know God. It's like, it's just everything is, I don't know. I want to like go deeper. I want to like do all the things. I like jumping through all the hoops. And the baby's baptized in the Catholic Church, and Frank's whole family's Catholic. So I'm like, I can't be the odd man out.
And you have the red hair. So there's the ethnic, there are lots of ethnic types.
Oh, I'm not an Irish Catholic yet. I'll put on this brogue when I have my initiation. And I'll be like, what? Why are you talking like that? I come from a big Irish family. I thought you dye your hair red. Oh, you don't tell anyone that. My father, he was a hard worker. He drank himself to sleep each night.
Sounds pretty Irish to me.
Thank you. I work on it. That's really cool.
The ladies like him too.
Oh, the ladies like them too. I'm getting into Jewish food now. Frank and I went to a Jewish deli. It was called Epstein's. It's in Hartsdale, and we went, and I was
Epstein's in Hartsdale.
And I was like, we're here to find Jeffrey. Where's he hiding?
Oh, Jeffrey Epstein.
Where's Jeffrey?
That's very good. That's very good. You're a regular Jackie
Is
Mason.
Is he in the back having a latke?
Having a latke.
Isn't that a potato? We got the potato pancake with the applesauce.
Associated with the holiday of?
The Holocaust?
Holiday?
I don't know. What did they eat during the Holocaust? I imagine their own food.
It's a Hanukkah food.
Oh.
Why do we eat latkes on Hanukkah?
Because they're easy to make.
We're having this discussion in July.
So now we have time to get ready. We have Christmas in July. Why can't we have Hanukkah in July?
Wait a minute. Because they're easy to make? What would be the
It's just potato. Don't you just take a potato and beat it into...
Why would Hanukkah require that they be easy to make?
I don't know. Because you can do it without electricity?
Hanukkah's not that kind of hot. We love electricity on Hanukkah. Okay. Because it's fried in oil. Oil, connection oil, Hanukkah, the menorah.
Oh, right. You use the same oil that you cook in to light the menorah.
Well, no, I wouldn't make it. I mean, I guess you could make. You're supposed to use olive oil to light the menorah.
Extra virgin or any kind?
Any kind of virgin.
Okay.
Just how does one go about being an extrovert?
Mary, I think Mary was extroverted.
I've never known why they called it that. Let's give it a Google.
Maybe it's how they press it.
Or maybe it's Mormon. It wears a special kind of undergarment.
I've never thought about this. I have to pause because we did receive a $99.99 super chat from a big spender, the whale of the chat, Rhinoceros, king of the chat. Thank you, Rhinoceros. NightMayr Monday. I'm just waiting for this man to continue to ask for more weapons and tax dollars. Whoops.
Do you understand that?
Are you talking about Trump?
I don't know. I'll connect the dots for you.
Please do.
Rhinoceros thinks that I'm a representative of the state of Israel.
Oh.
Even though I came here from New Jersey. And you know why? Because people always say Israel is the size of New Jersey. So he
really?
thinks that Israel and New Jersey
are linked.
Are the same thing.
You're from New Israel, the state of New Israel, which should be New York.
No, that's Hymietown.
Hymietown?
That's what Jesse Jackson, before you were born, I suppose. Jesse Jackson got in trouble. Remember the Reverend Jesse Jackson?
Yeah, race hustler.
Yes. So he ran for president. He ran for the Democratic nomination for the presidency, and he got caught referring to New York as Hymietown. And Saturday Night Live, they did a rhythm and blues version of him singing "Don't Let Me Down, Hymietown."
Oh, that's funny.
Because he was hoping he would win the New York
and he
delegates. He didn't. No. In any event, Rhinoceros, you're a very funny guy. Really, I never would have put together, because I'm from New Jersey. That's what I assume the connection is that you're making. New Jersey, same size as Israel.
Sometimes when I have a Jewish person on the show, they think that people get very excited and they bring all their Jewish questions and Israel questions to the chat because they get excited they seek answers.
But here, instead of seeking answers, he gave you $100.
Yeah, he can ask whatever for $100.
For $100,
I'll wake up the baby.
For $100, you can even make your favorite. That was the joke.
Give us your favorite Holocaust recipe.
Here's another one he has.
Oh, Rhinoceros for another $19.99. Quickly, someone order Burger King. BB is inbound. Ah ha 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 ha. I don't understand that.
Me neither.
Okay.
You're a professional comedian.
Should I know what he's talking about?
I don't know. I mean, and I like to think one of those funny people who's not a comedian.
That's you.
So, but two bona fide funny people.
We can't figure it out.
We don't have any idea what.
Matthew Hammond for 2. Should New York City boroughs become independent entities? Ooh, that'll never happen.
Should they revert to being independent entities?
It's interesting because Staten Island, extremely red.
First of all, let's be honest. Has Chrissie Mayr ever really taken a look at a map of the New York metropolitan area?
Yes, I've taken a map. I've lived in Brooklyn. I've lived in Queens. I'm from Long Island. I've done shows in Staten Island.
If you look at a map,
they're all connected except for Staten Island.
But what is Staten Island really part of?
Is it part of Jersey?
It's really part of. It's just it wants so much to be part of Jersey.
It gets closer and every year it just inches over.
Richmond County was really the wilderness before the Verrazano Bridge was built.
Oh.
It was like impossible to get to, because by then you already had all the bridges and tunnels connecting the other boroughs. Why did we bring up Staten Island?
Oh, because Matthew Hammond asked about
the
the boroughs being separate entities.
So there is a sort of a cliche among people who talk about policy relating to urban management that New York City is so large that it's ungovernable. And perhaps it would be governable if you were to return the boroughs to their original format as separate cities. I think I agree with you. I don't think it's possible to go back.
Do you think Zohan is going to win?
I think the problem is there's a very significant majority of people who want him to not win, but they can't settle on one candidate.
Yep.
Right. So Adams is sort of the default, but he did a really shitty job for the previous 4 years.
Mm-hmm. He's just a scenester. He wants to go to parties. He wants to be invited out, get his photo taken. Schmooze. He doesn't have the money. but he's probably the best one.
Can you imagine? It would almost be like having Trump.
Curtis Lee was great.
No, I'm saying like a plain speaking street guy who absolutely knows what he's talking about, and who would, and they
could wrestle the pizza right out of a rat's mouth. He's lived a life.
And yet, it's hard to imagine him really being able to manage the political process once in office. One thing I remember when he used to have his radio show with Ron Kuby, which was great radio. Curtis Lee knows every freaking inch of New York City. Mm-hmm. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, he's so smart.
It is really. I mean, he's a really insightful guy. Yeah, I mean, but he can't. He also really can't win. And there's another. Isn't there a third person? Cuomo, who said that he's not necessarily. You're not done with me. I'm not finished here.
I'm not done groping women.
I got to tell you, in the scheme of things.
Doesn't everyone get groped at their job?
First of all, he's an Italian American, right?
It's really part of their heritage.
Who are we to say? Okay.
That's just how he shakes hands. Shake something.
That's how he says he likes you.
Yeah.
Like when I walked into the house here, 2 dogs just leapt up.
Yeah. Did they like you? Because
dogs like me.
Waffles is still attacking our producer, Matt.
Dogs know that I'm okay with them.
The dogs are not anti-Semites. The dogs are anti-black. I've seen how they act. But there's...
Now, hold on a second. That's interesting.
That would explain why they don't like me.
Because there's something about you that you have in common with blacks.
Have you ever looted a Target, Matt?
I wasn't referring to that. Referring to something much more intimate.
Oh. Excuse me.
It's twoo.
God, imagine. The dogs can sense your penis size. That's their...
that's what we're talking about.
Is that what you were talking about? How inappropriate.
Well, I mean, it is a NightMayr.
I will say they have stopped barking at me, but they do still they don't claw at me because they don't have claws, but
they do they do happy scratches. Yeah. And then Muffin bares her teeth. It makes it look like she's angry, but that's just happy teeth.
Is that what that is?
They're just trying to give you kisses. Yeah, they're just
The whole concept of dogs playing, it's clear, you watch enough animal videos, and obviously a guy like me watches hours and hours of animal videos, but sometimes admit it. Sometimes the moment just strikes you, then you'll just watch a bunch of animal videos. Oh,
I've spent an embarrassing amount of time watching squirrel obstacle course videos.
It's fascinating, okay? So, and I grew up around dogs. I like dogs. They play. What does that mean to a dog? I'm not really doing this.
Being in the present moment, I think.
But they know that this is not going to be aggressive. I'm not going to really bite. I'm going to pretend bite. Doesn't that posit a really advanced level of
You have to be so smart because you're working out your animal hunting instincts without actually injuring somebody. You're I'm just working out this muscle.
And I'm a human and I can't do that.
You should. I mean, you could wrestle your kids. You could grab your wife's ass.
I have so many fatalities have already resulted in my attempting to be playful. I don't want to add to that at all.
Oh, no.
No, not at all. Not true. I'm a gentle giant. I'm not even a giant.
You're like a manatee. No, wait, never mind.
Sea cow. Sea cow.
It's a land cow. Oh, no. How terrible. Wow, that's really neat. Yeah, people should still play. You should we play with the baby a lot. Frank is really good. He'll be I'm coming to get you, and he'll be he'll just start laughing, and then we tickle him.
When I was raising my kids for the very many, so actually, that reminds me of an interesting point that you'll appreciate. You just had your first baby. How old is he now?
15 months.
Okay, so that's more than a year ago.
And he's crushing it.
So he's past the warranty at this point.
He has his 2 front little teethers coming in.
Aww. My aw.
Do you just roll your eyes at 2 front teeth?
No, it is.
Okay.
Oh, I love little kids. Seriously, I do. I mean, I don't really care about them unless they bear my award-winning DNA. but I can be charmed momentarily.
Mm-hmm.
I have a study partnership with a couple of other older Jewish men, both of whom are actual bona fide Talmudic scholars. Unlike me,
How long does
I'm a
that take?
piker. Their entire lives. But I mean, like people like my sons are all bona fide Talmudic scholars, and they reached that status by their early 20s.
Who wants to do that when they're 20 years old? Shouldn't you be drinking yourself into a blackout?
Not intellectual Orthodox Jewish families like that. So I married a nerd, okay? She got into law school that turned me down.
Oh.
Okay. And so we'd be a nerdy family no matter what. So we're just a Jewish nerdy family, you know. Not the story. The story is one of them they both have a lot of children, but one of them has 45 grandchildren. Just
What?
45 grandchildren, he's only 10 years older than I am. And here's the point, Chrissie. He spent virtually his entire life raising children. He and his wife spent virtually their entire adult lives raising children. And think about what that means in terms of meaning of life. I mean, I think he has 8 of his own. And one of his like all his kids have kids, but some of them are only fairly recently married. But one of them has double digits numbers of kids.
Wow.
Maybe a couple of them do. But which is not at all unusual in my neighborhood. But I realized that, you know, they had their first kids in their mid-20s. And I knew him already when he was in his 30s and 40s and 50s. And they always had a baby here. There was always a baby here. And then you have your grandchildren over. And that's actually really wholesome.
That's really cool. It really is the meaning of life.
And once you are a parent, we're not dissing to diss. We're not dissing people who don't have children.
Let's diss them. They don't know what they're missing out on.
They don't know what they're missing out on, but that doesn't mean that they're inferior people. But if they are inferior people, it's just as well that they shouldn't have children, unless they're going to become heads of state of European countries,
right?
Which is apparently what they all do. In any event, yes, it's a rich experience so now, I mean, I have a much smaller family because I only had 4 kids. I got married later.
4 is great, though.
4 is great. My wife and I each were one of 2. So we doubled it, So that's already a big difference. Think about twins.
They come out at the same time. Do they come out holding hands like otters? That's gotta hurt. No, it's probably one first.
No, one first. I know that you are almost a Catholic, and when you become a Catholic, you're going to be dissuaded from reading the Bible. But,
really?
Yeah. Let's just say Protestants read the Bible a lot more than Catholics. But if you read the Bible, you know that twins come out in order.
Of who's going to be better?
Who's going to be the firstborn for purposes of inheriting.
Oh, right. And also a vag can only do so much.
As it is, it usually ends up needing a little surgical help.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not go there, please!
When I got sewed back up, I said, make me Asian. Here's a couple of bucks. I'm kidding.
You can take that out in post-production, right? This is live?
We're live. Runsters, my gosh, with another $50. King of the chat. How do bona fide Jewish families deal with circumcision? Precisely, what does the rabbi do?
Don't you see?
It's called a bris.
No. He has a particular interest in little boys' penises.
Uh-oh.
Which I don't. The rabbi cuts off the foreskin.
Do Jewish people, are there any Jewish people who aren't doing circumcision? Who just...
If they're not observant.
Okay.
But it's it's the thing. God said to do it. We do it. Simple.
But it's like torture for them.
For the baby.
Yeah.
They really seem to not enjoy it. The babies really seem to not enjoy it. I have never actually heard one describe the experience, unless you count screaming your head off. You know, it is.
And what if you miss? What if you like sneeze or like something gets in your contact lens?
Gotta not miss. Gotta not
I
miss.
couldn't live with myself if like they botched it.
It's amazing. I mean, we've been doing this for a very long time. You practice on cadavers.
I thought you were going to say bananas. A cadaver, right, because then it doesn't matter. But
it doesn't matter with bananas either.
Right. What if the cadavers are all circumcised?
Then you don't use those cadavers for that kind of practice.
Imagine that's your job, checking out dead bodies for foreskin.
No, I will not imagine. When I think of all the possible jobs I might have, first of all, that doesn't even strike me as a full-time job.
No.
But here's the thing: you could not do that job remotely
or sober.
Well, if you don't do it,
right, you're gonna be bad at it.
Yeah,
you have to do it. That's definitely an in-person. That's definitely not a COVID job. You got to do that in person.
I probably shouldn't say this, but I knew
the best things are said after those words every time.
I knew a guy who got circumcised in middle school.
Was he a Muslim?
No.
Because Muslims get circumcised much later.
No, I don't.
What, when they're like 30 or something?
No, but like 12 or something.
Whoa.
I don't even think I was like friends with this guy, but it's just somehow everybody knew like why he was leaving school early that day. And like,
really?
No one could stop laughing.
How old was he?
He was in like middle school. It was like,
oh my God.
Maybe 11?
Did his parents like make a party and invite everyone?
No, but that would have been
fun.
That is really, where'd you grow up?
Like here in New York. So
in New York.
It's just it's such a crazy thing because it's just it's really common, especially in New York. It's like most people, it's common in this country, right? Like it's just most adults, I would say, in this country are circumcised.
Well, most adult men,
right. Unless you want to get into female circumcision. Hopefully that's not anybody in the chat. But you just think, oh, it's normal. And when we were having the baby, it's like it had to be a conversation. And at first I was like, yeah, I guess we should, because that's just default setting. And then the more people I talk to, and then like you read about like how cruel it is and how much it is kind of traumatizing. And then the whole like, what if they miss? And it not really being like medically necessary. And then we kind of, and even still after that, I was like, I'm still going to leave the final decision to Frank, because like, I feel like if you have the same equipment, like you should make the decision. And then we just decided not to for the baby. And I was like, well, if he wants to when he's older, I guess he could, but I don't know.
I would like to make a prediction here.
Okay.
Not going to happen.
Right. You'll get used to it.
Notwithstanding this bullshit story. I mean, you don't believe him.
Oh, that like he had a
middle
schoolmate leaving.
Please.
No, that's insane. That sounds like he wanted to get out of school early and go get McDonald's with his mom.
I feel like there's no reason not to believe it, because that guy was so mad that day because everyone found out.
Did he lose a bet?
You never know. Also, I'm not sure. Like, I really don't know, but nobody really like remembers it. So
yeah, it's
like,
a weird thing.
It's definitely traumatizing.
And now you're talking about it. How many hundreds of thousands of people are listening to us now?
Yeah, this is not on any of the topics I had planned to talk about with you, Ron.
No, because if we had talked about this beforehand, I would have said call my car.
Okay, let's see. I want to talk about the difference between Hasidic and Orthodox.
Well, that's an interesting...
I confused them all.
That's an interesting... So, Chassidim, that's the plural of... Okay, Hebrew.
Like a murder of crows.
Yeah, but not the best example.
Murder of Jews. Oh no.
And Chassidim also, they dress all in black,
Sorry. It's funny.
Oh my goodness. No. But it's not even, but it's also, it's not like that. It's just like you would say, bananas. It's not a bunch of bananas, yeah, but the plural of banana is bananas.
Right.
The plural of chassid is chassidim. And the anglicized adjective is chassidic, right? Chassidic? Chassidim are Orthodox.
But not all Orthodox are Hasidic.
But not all Orthodox are Hasidic. I'm not Hasidic. I have Hasidic friends. Chassidim are people who practice a form of traditional Judaism that is about less than 300 years old. That involves certain kinds of more strict ways of behaving, and is.
It's like boot camp for Jews.
No, boot camp is something you graduate from. It's more like being the Navy SEALs of Jews.
Okay.
In many respects.
Except they're not like in shape or anything.
Some of them can absolutely kick your ass. Some of them are some of them are in the Israeli army.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, they have to be in shape for sure.
But they have certain customs and they wear certain kinds of garb because they are much less inclined to cooperate with modernity, whereas my kind of Orthodox folk say it's not required of us to only wear one color of shirt, but on the other hand, we do agree with them that one ought to dress modestly. So our wives don't wear pants and they don't wear short skirts, but their skirts won't be necessarily as long, and their sleeves won't be as long as so Chassidim have these extra strictures that make them.
You can't ever wear pants? What do you wear to yoga?
If you're going to yoga with just a bunch of other ladies, you could wear
a yoga skirt.
Well, you could wear yoga pants, but out in public, you would not wear. Women do not wear pants in our community.
Why is that?
Because it tends to accentuate
your butt,
your butt, and your female.
They're anti-camel toe,
Madame. I'm concerned about your monetization here.
Oh, come on.
No, I know. I'm being facetious. I'm just trying to steer this away.
It's just camel toe.
It's just the so it's more modest. Just like Lucy Van Pelt didn't wear pants until the 70s, because that's how girls wear skirts and boys wear pants.
Mm-hmm. It probably makes things easier if you have like a uniform.
But I mean, it's not such a uniform. I can't say that. Like all my sons wear white shirts all the time and dark suits, and we all wear fedoras when we go to synagogue. Like it is sort of a uniform. It does kind of make things easier, and people do like. There's a wide range of variation. Some people like to get funky on the edges, that sort of thing. But in our culture, men are not supposed to be drawing attention to themselves by their clothes. There's work to be done. There's service to be done. There are responsibilities to fulfill. Women want to look pretty.
So you're like the opposite of Dominicans.
That's mostly what we sit around and say, okay, what are the Dominicans doing now?
They're a flashy bunch.
Mendy, hold up the mirror to the Dominicans. What are the Dominicans are a flashy bunch?
They are flashy. Yeah, they love their jewelry.
You mean the men? You mean the men?
The men, yeah. They love their like the funky edging on their haircuts.
Really?
Oh yeah.
How do you know this?
Watching baseball.
Watching baseball. Mm-hmm. I didn't know
They
that.
love their ice, their big chains.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're more like the New York Yankees have these rules about your haircut.
They actually just did away with that this season. It was the first
I
season.
am not hearing you, okay? I'm not listening.
I know. I don't like it either. But they did it because I think they were trying to recruit
A particular...
a particular player who did not go with them. So I wonder if they'll just like, I wish they could turn back the rule. I liked that they're clean shaven.
It was a great brand management just choice by the Yankees. Yankees always looked clean cut.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is that's our sort of mental approach, our social and emotional approach. Men look good, look sharp, nothing wrong with that, but don't draw attention to yourself like a woman would. You're not. Listen, if there's some people who are just like super duper good looking,
like you, of course.
well, I didn't want to just hit it right on the nose like
right. Someone else has to be the one to say it.
But attention's gonna be drawn, and the world is full of all kinds, Chrissie, all kinds, even people who are not as blessed as you and I with beauty. But that's right. So the Chassidim take that a step further, and they basically really do have pretty much a uniform, which differs from group to group to a large extent, because one of the components of Hasidism is that they group themselves around a religious leader who is considered to be a saintly person, who has a tradition of saintly conduct and scholarship, and who they go to for advice in almost every aspect of their lives. And we non-Hasidic Orthodox guys mostly don't do that.
Who do you guys go to for advice then? Friends?
Whatever your wife tells you to do.
Oh. Sounds fun.
Yeah, no. I mean, she has to think that you're doing whatever she told you to do. No, so there are actually a lot of people in our community do go to rabbis for advice on life decisions. Now, you have to keep in mind that one of the ways that we operate is that you do have to have a relationship with a rabbi to ask questions about Jewish law, because Jewish law is really complex. Like you said, how long do you have to be considered to be an advanced Talmudic scholar? Even my sons, who are all scholars, only a couple of them would even venture to answer a legal question. In other words, a question arising about the laws of kosher or observance of the Sabbath, things that can be very, very technical. That takes many, many years of study and diligence. So you do end up asking a lot of questions to your local Orthodox rabbi.
Do you think they get sick of hearing everybody's shit and like giving out free therapy basically?
Free?
Isn't aren't rabbis just like priests, and don't you have like Jewish confession?
No, we do not have anything like confession, except for if a person does a sin, he is, in order to repent, one of the things he has to do is to confess his sins to God. But we actually have a principle that, although in many respects public confession, and this is something that Maimonides says, I believe, ideally public confession would be more powerful. But the problem with public confession is that
you could just do it in a tweet. Isn't that a public confession?
It could be, but the problem at a more traditional kind of social interaction is, if people start hearing, oh, Ron Coleman next door shoplifts, and now he wants to repent for it, they start thinking, oh, so I guess you can be a regular guy like Ron Coleman and shoplift from time to time.
As long as you repent.
You become accustomed to hearing about sin. So the sages instituted this idea that, no, it would be better, keep your confession private. Now, the priest, on the other hand, confession is a sacrament, right? We don't have really anything that's equivalent to the sacraments. If you don't have the sacraments, the idea of a priest being someone that you confess to because he's going to take care of your account with God doesn't make any sense. If you do, but if you have the traditional Catholic understanding of the sacraments, then that's what confession is. So fine. We don't have that.
So you guys don't really confess?
No, you're obligated to confess. The sages of the Talmud, in fact, actually say that a person is obligated to live in a state of repentance all the time, because even though it is true that he could confess, and it would work if he confessed the minute before he died, you could get hit by a truck, and before so if you put it in your, in your outlook that, okay, remember to confess because you're going to die when you're hit 120 like Moses. Not everybody makes it to 120. Also, I mean, a person really should examine his deeds all the time in order to improve. Again, if you find a sin, you are obligated to repent from the sin. By the way, this is all normative. I'm not saying this is what Ron Coleman does. Okay? I'm just a zhlub. I'm just a guy. Okay, I'm just telling you that this is how we're taught. This is the doctrine. A person should examine his deeds, and if you find a sin, then you need to repent from it, and part of the repentance process is confession.
Okay, very cool.
You also confession, and then you have to also make an undertaking never to do it again. And then you have to distance yourself from the temptation.
Right.
That, you don't just say, okay, that I'm good. I'm never going to do it again. Now let me go back to OnlyFans and see how I can stand because that's in and of itself would constitute a sin. Anyway.
Yeah. Or let me go hang out with all my alcoholic friends.
Oh, look at the good thing about my rhinoceros is he is great at letting me stimulate him as only a Jew can do to part with his money.
Well, yeah, rhinoceros is always one of the best chatters. But yes, I appreciate it. And you know what he mentions? The guys, the circumcision. You know, there's people who do bad things in the Jewish faith, just like there's people who do bad things in the Catholic faith and in every faith, right? I don't know. I'm trying to make everybody feel comfortable. Matthew Hammond for 2. Is it comparable?
Does anyone feel comfortable, by the way? Is that working in any...
Is it comparable to Amish versus Mennonite? Ooh.
No.
No?
No.
You guys don't have Jewish rum Sprega. Actually, yeah. Do the Hasidics, go out, have a summer, and if you still, no, because none of them would come back.
No, that's not why. That's not why. It's because you can't give someone permission to sin.
Okay. But the Amish do it.
They're Goyim. What do you expect?
Okay.
You know what? They've taken on they have a completely different tradition, and there's a lot to admire about what the Amish do.
They make a great pie.
Do they?
They make great furniture.
What kind of pie, though?
Oh, I mean, I don't know, rhubarb, whatever they're feeling like.
You're just completely making this up.
I've driven through Pennsylvania. I've stopped at their farm stands.
I've driven through Pennsylvania. I've stopped at their farm stands.
I don't know any. The only Amish person I know is the Amish comic.
Who's the Amish comic? See, I don't know
I forget his real name, but he goes by Amish comic, and that's his whole shtick.
But actually, it's funny that you mentioned. I was just discussing this with one of my friends recently. What's the word again for that? What they call it?
Shtick?
No. Ramsaya?
Rumsprega?
Rumsprega. I mean, you got to give them credit for saying, before you sign up.
Yeah, it's like a
for
trust
this
fall.
vigorous way of life, and the vast majority of them do return. They do return. So why is that? Because if you've been raised to see the world a certain way, let me give you, before I finish my sentence, there is a phenomenon that began in the 1960s of people who do not come from religious backgrounds in the Jewish world, returning to their religious roots, like me. And they asked a very famous person in Israel who had done this whether he thought it was better to have never known the temptation, or the pleasures, the forbidden pleasures, or whether he was better off, having known them and then chosen. He said, "I'm definitely better off." In other words, the person asking the question thought he would say, "Yeah, I really miss cheeseburgers. I really miss bacon. I really miss driving on Saturday."
But you can't have bacon?
No. Pork? You heard about the Jews and pork, right?
But it's like the best, tastiest animal.
But you know what? There are so many ways you can really effectively simulate bacon now.
Yeah, but...
Oh, it's really good. It's really good.
It's not the same.
It's not the same, but it's really... Here's the thing. Bacon, up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, really good, but not the same, still up here.
What are you getting the soy fake bacon from?
Okay, so, well, if it's soy, you just answered your question now, haven't you? The witness may be excused.
What do you use, chicken bacon?
So, if you can make a bacon from soy, like Bacos, right? Or you can you can also season all kinds of meat, beef in particular, the same way you would season pork. And it's an amazingly effective.
Okay.
They call it beef fry. So the person asking him the question thought he was going to say, "I miss these things. So I'd be better off if I had never experienced them," because... But what he said,
right, like using hard drugs, it's like it's better to just not know.
Perhaps. That I can't speak to at all, but what he said was, because I've experienced it, I know how actually unfulfilling and empty it is. The people who have grown up and never experienced it are tempted by it. But I've been there, done that. It's garbage. It isn't satisfying, so I consider myself the luckier one.
So I want to get back to, you said something really interesting before, that you came back to your Jewish faith. Were you not raised Jewish, or you just went deeper into it as you got older?
I was raised as a non-observant Jew, like most Americans are. Not that we didn't eat on Yom Kippur, but we didn't really understand that Yom Kippur starts and ends at a specific time. It was like, oh, today's Yom Kippur. Okay, so it's supper time. Let's stop eating. No, there's a specific time when you have to stop eating.
What time?
The time is when the sun sets. Okay, that's when Yom Kippur begins.
So people are like just wolfing down food, looking outside the window, like, we have 5 more minutes.
Right. So, we try to take Yom Kippur. So there is actually a mitzvah. You know what a mitzvah is, right?
Something good?
Something good that you do because God tells you to do it. There is a mitzvah to have a nice big meal before Yom Kippur in order to make the fast easier. And, so nothing wrong with that at all. But you don't really want to, you're going into this fast in order to serve God, and there are all these reasons for doing it. Now imagine the last thing you do is shoving food in your mouth, like
ring dings, whatever's around.
Because what it's funny. I think of ring dings all the time.
They were like my only really childhood treat. Like, well, we kind of grew up on like white trash food, but any Drakes
in the 60s. The stuff we used to eat, all the Drake stuff, High C, Hawaiian Punch.
Crystal Light.
Crystal Light was already the 70s. Mm-hmm. And that was already the beginning
of the 80s health craze.
Yeah, the entry of light into the world of American nutrition.
Pre-Tab. My mom, all she drank was Tab.
What's that stuff? Nasty.
Oh, she kept Tab in business and then got brain cancer. So don't drink diet soda, guys.
Well, at least not saccharin.
Yeah.
That was sweetened with saccharin. You really have a way of just
bringing the room down. I know. I have a lot of undealt with trauma, I think. And
No, I think you deal with it very well, actually. Even though your child is growing up with any ability to get himself to sleep like a normal. I'm sorry. I just keep coming back to that.
He can fall asleep in the car by himself
or if you conk him in the head with a mallet.
No. I conk him in the head with a boob. He's still nursing too.
Well, that's that's fine. That's fine. I'm fine with that. For your child. So yeah, and at a certain point in my life, I decided I either wanted to decide it was meaningful or not meaningful to be Jewish. And because of the environment that I grew, in other words, it might not have been an entirely objective decision that I made, an unbiased decision, nor does it have to be. Everyone has full of biases. I grew up in an immigrant household, and I already knew that being Jewish was very important to me. But what I didn't know was why. So does it have meaning, or is it just sort of a tribal identity? And if it's a tribal identity, okay, fine, but let me marry whoever I want to marry.
Where are your parents from?
My mother grew up in Cuba. Her parents left Poland in the 1930s and came to Cuba. They call such people Jubins. And there are a lot of them in South Florida.
Jubins.
And then they left Cuba in the late 1950s. So keep an eye on Coleman, because we know when to
leave a place.
Town. That's right.
And you probably love cigars.
I don't mind a good cigar from time to time. And my father was raised by his immigrant grandmother after his mother passed away when he was very young. So we really had a kind of an old world feeling. It's funny, actually. When I was first married, I mentioned to my wife that we used to get, when I lived in Brooklyn in the 60s, deliveries of real seltzer bottles, the spritzer seltzer bottles, like you see in the Three Stooges.
Well, now I have a seltzer machine, so you can just make your own.
Now you do, but that was not available in those days. And my wife, who grew up in New England, said, "Do you grow up in the 19th century?"
You had to send out for bubbles.
No, it was Brooklyn in the 1960s, which was like the 19th
That's
century.
That's cool, though.
Yeah. It was all we knew. Yeah, it really, but I had my share of seltzer Judaism, and bagel Judaism. And,
bagel Judaism.
And look, I find myself with children of immigrants who were not educated, and my parents were very intelligent, but they had high school degrees. They didn't go to college. And I wake up and one day and I'm attending Princeton University. So here is the on-ramp to assimilation. Let's just stipulate, counter to fact, that Ron Coleman could ever actually pass. And to some extent, I probably play up my Jewish and Brooklyn personality as kind of a shtick. So it doesn't necessarily mean that I would be the same as I am now, but I don't think I'd pass anyway. I am from Brooklyn, after all. But the point is, you can really turn your back on it and have all kinds of other choices and options open to you. And I decided, no, it does mean something to me. I went to a program in Israel for Americans who had the same exact kind of questions as I did.
How long was that?
How long was the program that I went on?
Yeah, and is that the same as like a birthright trip, or did you do both?
It is actually one of the predecessors of Birthright. Birthright. So I went on a program called the Jerusalem Fellowships, which is run by an Orthodox Jewish institution of learning, or a yeshiva called Esha Torah, and in Jerusalem, and they made this thing up. They, at a very, very low price, gave us a 6-week tour of like the whole land of Israel. We met with politicians and we met with professors and prominent people, and this was 1985. So there was a famous Refusnik physicist who, like stuff that would have been in that time. All kinds of different ways to try to ring the bell of making a person, in my kind of circumstances, feel, no, this is something I do want to attach myself to. Birthright said, let's just do it with Israel. I'm being a little bit unfair to Birthright. I don't know how successful Birthright has actually been at affecting choices that people make.
It seems like most people just do it because they want a free trip somewhere.
Yeah, and when you look, I don't know just what the percentages of Birthright participants, but when you look at the way Jewish students have mostly continued the assimilation process, and especially what happened on college campuses in the last year and a half, probably didn't really work. Probably not the best way to spend
Who pays for the birthright trips?
The Rothschilds. They take the circumcision foreskins and sell them right to where would this go?
Planned Parenthood?
No, not the Planned Parenthood. They sell the foreskins to what kind of other things do we do? Oh,
I don't know.
They sell them to the people who make the weather control machines.
Okay.
Which they power the machines.
The foreskins do. Okay.
Yes, and this makes the Rothschilds rich. They then take that money, and the Fed converts it into gold bullion, which is then distributed among our main industries, pornography.
And then you open them up at Hanukkah, and they're actually made of chocolate, and you're like, ah!
It is such a relief. Because you think it's going to be this big, heavy thing.
And you're like,
then
oh,
Chrissie
it's melting.
comes and lets you out of this joke that had no future. And all of a sudden, it's just delicious milk chocolate coming out of a little Hanukkah gelt. That's great. Thank you.
Like, oh, there's no gold left in Fort Knox. It's just gelt. Those Jews.
That's going to be the real, for the real of this. That's the punchline I want.
Good. Okay.
There's only gelt left. And the way to get it, of course, is to dig in the tunnels.
Yes. Did you have to answer for that? Were a lot of people asking you about the tunnels and the mattresses and
no
such?
one has ever asked me that, because I'm not one of those guys. There's some creepy people doing some weird stuff, but I don't think anything they were doing was actually. It was weird. Most mattresses in the world wouldn't really stand up to a lot of public inspection, right? I mean,
Mine would.
Okay, because you're.
We just bought a new one in February. It has a remote control. The back goes up, so you actually need less pillows.
Less pillage.
Yeah, less pillage. We still have like 6 pillows on the bed, but really we only need like 2, because like if the back is raised.
I grew up with 1 pillow.
Oh yeah, me too.
In the old day, when I was a kid, 1 pillow was enough.
Oh, I had the flattest, saddest, most stained pillow. It just never occurred to my mother to ever just buy us new of anything. And I had the same bedspread.
You know what my mother used to do? She would launder the pillows in the washing machine, and then she would put them on the windowsill. We lived on the 2nd floor, on East 12th Street. Put them on the windowsill with 1/2 sticking outside to dry, because you couldn't put them in they were feather pillows, so you couldn't put them in the dryer, I think.
Right.
Also, we didn't have a dryer. if you
You had
wanted
to
to
line-
use the dryer, you'd have to go to the laundromat downstairs. We did have a washing machine in the kitchen.
Cool.
Oh, Chrissy, the washing machine in the so how did the water go in? We had a black rubber hose. Up your nose with a rubber hose, Mr. Carter. A black rubber hose that you attached to the faucet of the kitchen sink,
Cool.
which ran across over the little
Oh,
kitchenette
wow.
to the unauthorized
Illegal
washing
machine.
But when you had babies in those days, you needed a washing machine.
Oh, yeah.
There were no Pampers.
Because they were all wearing cloth diapers.
We were all wearing cloth diapers. So you just had to have a washing machine.
The cloth diapers have come back very much. Like there's
people with help.
there's a trend
For
of
people
that.
with help, yes.
I almost looked into it, and then everyone's like, "Chrissy, no, do not
No,
do this.
no.
Why would you do this to everyone?"
The whole diaper experience leaves quite a bit to be desired, no matter what. But
Before my baby, I had never put a diaper on anybody. So, but then you learn.
I'm going to tell you a self-aggrandizing story, but you're really going to like it,
Okay.
and it's completely true. And all our babies had colic.
What does that mean? They're just fussy for a while?
Oh, you sweet summer child. It means you can kill them.
What? No.
They scream.
Were they breastfed?
No. Actually, the first one did have formula. They were not breastfed very, 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 very long.
Okay. Maybe that's why.
We're not going into that. Okay, nature girl. They were fussy as hell. And the amazing thing is that when these babies are screaming, not just fussy, screaming their heads off. Obviously, they're in agony. And they're like human barometers. Like they could tell if you're holding them, if you try to sit down.
Oh, yeah. You have to be moving. You have to be standing.
Craziness, okay? And we had twins.
Because they're aware of their own vulnerability. They think a tiger's going to get them. They literally are aware of there might be large
Let
prey.
me point out to you that we had twins at one point. So we had two babies with
Colic in stereo.
and the colic would always go for 3 months. 3 months but it was 3 months from their not for what's it called, their age, their baby age, their from birth age.
Newborn to infant.
But my first child was born 7 weeks premature. And this was in the early 90s when it wasn't as advanced technologically, the preemies. So he was 3 months plus 7 weeks. Okay. And if you've ever had a child with colic, you ever hear about these terrible stories about the mother threw the baby out the window? Okay?
They snap.
You can understand
No.
how a person.
There's nothing.
I know there's nothing. Look, we didn't hardly. There's nothing.
It's just 3 months.
But if someone is on drugs.
Oh yeah, people are on drugs.
Emotionally compromised. I mean, you really want to kill. Why did I bring up the colic? For a good reason. First of all, we didn't kill any of them.
Because look at them now; they're Talmudic scholars.
They're Talmudic scholars, and they're well read. They're well rounded. They're such great kids. I'm so fortunate to have them. No, but the reason I brought up the colic was what? It was going to be an even better.
Was it something about sleep training? Was it something about?
Oh yes, something a really sweet story about a side of Ron Coleman you probably didn't think existed. So baby Mordecai would wake up screaming.
One of your kids is named Mordecai?
Right.
That's like the most Jewish name you could possibly give a kid.
It's a pretty Jewish name.
Morty! Get the matzah!
Morty.
Stop eating! The sun's going down! Morty!
Morty, did you collect the rent yet?
Go to the Bronx and collect the rent already.
And remember...
Since I'm Gen Z, I have to mention that that's also the guy from Regular Show. I don't think either of you would be familiar with that.
No, but there's a Morty for every generation, right? I mean, the Morty from Family Guy.
Rick and Morty.
Right? So, my children are Mordecai, Usher,
Usher? Like the rapper?
No, like the tribe of Israel.
Oh, okay.
Mordechai, Usher, Moses, and Avrami, Abraham. Okay.
A rummy?
Avrami.
How do you spell that? A-V?
Avrumy.
Cool. Do you call him Rummy for short?
Never, ever. Some Jewish people, if they have a baby, if they have a boy named Avraham, they call him Avi. But we actually called him Avrumi, which is a more Eastern European pronunciation, but it got Americanized into Avrami. Now for the story. Baby Mordechai wakes up like every 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Screaming.
That's
Screaming. One morning, Jane wakes up. Did Mordechai sleep through the night? Did he sleep through the night?
Oh.
And she sees me sitting on the floor. I had gotten up and changed him.
Wait, so she didn't hear, she didn't wake up?
I was able to pick him up. She was
like,
so exhausted
oh, wow,
from the screaming banshee baby that she slept through. So I was able to.
She slept through the night.
That's what I needed because she needs to sleep. She's a mother
I didn't
of a
sleep.
newborn. It's one of the few nice stories she tells about me. Everything else is pretty much.
That you did the night shift.
I did. Well, here's the thing also. Men can fall back asleep more easily than women if they wake up.
True. I'm the lightest sleeper now. I just lay awake staring at the baby.
So I always, that's a different, right? But that's nice. That's okay. But I used to, so if I could get up and feed the baby, then I would get up and feed the baby. And yet that's another advantage, especially if a baby is born by emergency C-section, 7 weeks premature.
Oh, wow.
You're asking your body to nurse that baby might be a tad over the top. She needed really to heal. From a very traumatic.
But you could probably still breastfeed if you have a premature baby.
You can, and I don't want to get too personal, but thank God everyone's great now, and everyone's robust.
Good.
And that's all
good for you. Wow.
Babies, yeah. So now I have grandbabies.
How old are they?
Well, the youngest ones, my children started, my two older married children started having babies in parallel. So I have 2 1.5-year-olds. Actually, pretty close to the age of your baby.
Gosh.
Actually, one boy and one girl.
We'll have to have a play date. We could all go to Quasi Park.
It will be a quasi date, I assure you.
I'll be like, look, Frankie, Jewish kids.
They're almost just like us.
Go steal their bagels. Frankie was playing in the sandbox the other day, and there was an Indian boy who, he's scared. The Indian boy was just digging a hole in the sandbox, and it was funny. I'm like, I should have been like, Frankie, go tell the Indian boy your grandpa scammed your grandpa scammed my grandpa. No, the Indian, he just scared the Indian boy. He ran away. He was like, Mom. And the mom's like, that's just a baby. This kid was 8 years old. And Frankie somehow just scared the crap out of him. I think because he was sort of menacing, threatening to fill in his hole. It's fun. It's fun having a baby.
How did your kid scare an 8-year-old?
I don't know. He's a 92 percentile weight. He's beefy boy.
Oh, is he a beefster?
Yeah, he's for no pressure, but he's probably gonna be an athlete. Because me and Frank were both athletes, so
You both athletic?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not athletic.
Stop.
No, I'm not. I'm not fleet of foot. I've hit when I used to play, softball. I hit some of the longest triples in the history of the game.
Boys play softball?
Softball's okay, sure. Yeah. What are you saying?
You're taking spots away from girls.
We didn't play Newcomb. let's not, no, softball, this is like in Jewish summer camp. Like, not Little League. Little League is Little League, right? Everybody, think about softballs, you've got a decent chance of hitting the ball.
Because the ball's huge, yeah.
Huge. Yeah, relatively huge. I was a pretty good hitter. Nice swing. I had a nice swing. I did.
I played softball. I was sucked at it. They'd always stick me out in right field. And then when I was at bat, they'd be like, it's okay. Wait for your pitch. And that just was their way of being like, you suck. You're not swinging at anything.
So they used to send me to right field too. I was not fleet of foot. Did I mention that? But I learned that I was actually a pretty good second baseman because it didn't require you to have a great throwing.
And that's how you met your wife. You said, I'm good at second base.
Oh.
And then you winked at her.
Chrissie, Mayr. So, in our dating, there's no touching at all.
What?
When you're married.
Wow.
No kissing, no hand holding.
What do you do on dates?
No bases.
Just talk?
We get to know each other
Oh,
and decide.
How retro.
And decide if we would be interested in spending the rest of our lives with each other. Poorly, obviously. I mean, I married way above my station, but I'm really glib, as you see, as the chat will agree. Are you making any money tonight, by the way?
Oh, but look, Rhinoceros. He's making it rain out there in the chat.
Does he have something else to say?
Did I miss
anything?
Let's see. Oh, there's a couple more. Okay. Matthew Hammond for 5. What does Ron think about the Jewish people that claim that they keep the Sabbath but have these obscure ways and tricks to keep it? Oh, yeah, we were talking about that. The Shabas Goy.
So I guess it would be like me asking Matthew, what do you think about people who claim that they understand what the rules of the Sabbath are, but actually just find obscure and tricky ways to word questions because they think that they know what they're talking about?
What if Matthew's Jewish?
Did I at any point in my formulation say he wasn't Jewish? He could just be retarded. Doesn't have to. It makes no difference whatsoever.
Matthew's definitely not retarded.
Oh, he's one of your regular donors.
He is. He's one of my regulars. So
you see how.
So he must be right.
How principled. Okay, those Jews. No.
I understand his
question. They'll do anything for money. By the way, my donors are the best.
I understand his question because up at Villa Roma, where we have Content Hotel, September 3rd through 7th, sometimes they have like the local Jews come in and like they'll stay there over Passover, and then they do something called an Eruv.
An
Eruv, which is where they can go to be on their phones. So it's like a little
Not
loophole.
To go to be on their phone. If it's the Sabbath, they can't be on their phone.
I was told that's an area that they can be on their phone. And then someone said an Eruv is a Jewish loophole. Okay.
No, it's where they can go to. It's where they can go to carry something like or push a baby stroller. It's not a loophole. The idea of calling it a loophole is based on a misunderstanding of what the rules are. So if you listen, I'm a lawyer, right? So people are always talking about, well, there's a loophole. It's not a loophole. You just are ignorant. You don't know what. It's not a loophole.
That's how it was described to me.
Right.
I pulled it out of nowhere.
But I'm saying, is it a loophole if the FBI comes to your house without a warrant and they just start going through your drawers and they find drugs? Some people and you're arrested, and I'm your defense lawyer, and I go to the judge, and the judge. I say to the judge, they're basing this entire case on drugs that were found without a warrant, but that's against the law. It's unconstitutional. So some people would say, well, that's a loophole because she really did have the drugs. But you and I know, as lovers of liberty, that you have to obey the Constitution. It's not a loophole. The law requires that before you arrest someone, you have a warrant. Mm-hmm. It's not a loophole. So before you prohibit someone from carrying in a place, you have to know what constitutes indoors and outdoors. When is a courtyard out? Is a courtyard around a group of surrounded by buildings? Mm-hmm. Is that indoors or outdoors?
It's outdoors.
Really? Even though it's completely surrounded by walls?
But it can if it rains, you get wet and you can have plants.
Okay, so therefore, if you had a cat and you kept that cat in the courtyard, you'd call that. You said that's an outdoor.
I would
cat?
never own a cat.
No further question.
Do I look like a cat person to you?
No,
No, it's definitely outdoors.
So, what is the definition of outdoors?
There's no roof.
There's no roof.
You're exposed to the elements.
Okay. What is the requirement for, so you have in order to then understand why outdoors and indoors matter, you have to understand what does it mean to what's the issue with carrying. You might remember from the Bible there's a story that after the law that requiring that the Sabbath be observed is given on Mount Sinai. Think about
The
it.
hospital.
No, this one that was actually in Israel.
Oh, right.
People come to Moses. They run to Moses. They say, this guy was gathering sticks on the Sabbath. What do we do with him? He said he knows that that's not. He knows that that's a violation of the Sabbath. God just got done talking to you. Keep the Sabbath.
Is that why I say God hates fags because it's a bundle of sticks and you can't? Right? Because the colloquial.
That's amazing. I'm gonna use that. So the question is, how would the guy have known when God said, "Observe the Sabbath and make it and keep it holy"? Was there any mention of sticks? That's the premise of the oral law of the Talmud, which is that Moses didn't just say, "Here's what God said. I'm just a secretary." He did write down what God said, but he also said, "Here are the laws of the Sabbath." And one of the laws of the Sabbath is you can't carry things outdoors. Okay, so what's outdoors, Moses? It doesn't only mean whether there's a roof. It means an enclosed area. Because let's say you have a backyard. It's not a courtyard, but it's a backyard. It's surrounded by a fence. You're telling me I can't carry, give my kids ices? They're playing in the backyard on the Sabbath?
Or like carry the hose to the garden to water it or something, or the bird seed.
Well, we don't water plants on the Sabbath.
Can
either.
you refill the bird feeder?
You could play with the water on Sabbath. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Point is, you can do all kinds of things in your backyard, even though it's outdoors. It's in a closed area. What the Eruv does is say, why don't all the Jewish people who live in this area, why don't we all agree that this will all be a shared backyard?
Okay.
It's going to be a shared backyard. Well, Ron, that's a great idea, but I'm not interested in building a white picket fence around the entirety of Pleasantville, New York. So let's ask the rabbis, what do you have to build in order to? That's what the Eruv is. The Eruv is a line. The bare minimum of what constitutes an enclosed area.
Huh.
Now, if you don't think that logic is pleasing, you don't have to. But in order to ask the question, you have to understand what it is we're trying to accomplish.
Okay.
So that's what the Eruv is.
So it's like a shared backyard.
It is a shared backyard. That's indeed what it is. But wait, there are more questions.
There are more questions. Well, what if somebody wants to put a garden in the shared backyard, and other people are like, well, I'm not really for that. I want to do frisbee golf.
So here's the thing. The shared backyard includes property that isn't only of Jewish people. Because if we put it all around Pleasantville, you're going to say, excuse me, like the Jews they're like 15 Jewish families.
What are these bagels doing on the grass? How
come there are bagels on the telephone poles? That's how we celebrate Christmas. and we use green bagels in March. It has nothing to do with a transfer, with an ownership of property. It has to do with the establishment of permission, of shared permission among those who keep the Sabbath to consider it to be one jurisdiction, so to speak. It's not a transfer of property. It doesn't in any way affect anyone else because I can't put wires, lines around a town and now, now it's my town. This shall be Ron town. I mean, I've tried and it never worked. So
I would live in Ron Town.
Oh, it would be so nice. You could be the comedian.
Ooh. Viking for $9.99. Why are Jewish groups allowed to lobby for their own ethnic group's interests, but when whites do the same, Jewish groups like the ADL cry racism and try to shut them down? 80% of Jews support the ADL. What's the ADL? The
Anti-Defamation League.
Okay. I thought it was something with disabilities.
Oh, you're thinking of the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Or the ADA.
Yes.
Right.
All groups are allowed to lobby for their own ethnic, not their own.
Yeah, grammatical snafu.
Okay. That's okay. Listen, I understand. Public school. Why are Jewish schools allowed to lobby for their own ethnic interests? They are, because that's what everyone does. But when whites do the same, Jewish groups like the ADL cry racism. Viking. That's bullshit. You're just saying things. Give me a specific example of a specific policy, and I'll explain it to you. Having said that, I'm not a defender of the Anti-Defamation League. In fact, I wrote an article several years ago in Newsweek magazine explaining why Elon Musk was right about the Anti-Defamation League, that they're excessively interested in censorship. And I don't know where you get your figure of 80% being in favor of the ADL. It might have once been true, but considering that in reality, 50% of Jews are conservatives and Republicans, stop believing what you hear everyone say. It has shifted much more significantly than people acknowledge. They're probably not so in favor of the ADL. The ADL, in fact, is essentially a group of Jewish people who are
like activists?
They're activists is fine, but they're a division of the Democratic Party.
Oh.
And that's, they are not on our side, frankly. They have done some very good work in the past. But Viking, I know it's not really fair to you. Here you spent $10 to ask your question, and yet, how much?
He wants a $10 response, which I think you've given.
Listen, given my hourly rate, you're doing pretty good, Viking. You're not doing so bad. But the point of the matter is, your criticisms of the ADL are warranted. But on the other hand, I think you're overstating them a little bit.
I think that was a good response. I also think you could do a decent De Niro impression because of that face you just made. Like, Frank does such a good one. It cracks me up every time. Push-ups for 5. Ron, was it true you supported dissidents in the Soviet Union? I got to interview Natan Sharansky a few years ago, and it was an honor. Cheers for freedom. Because push-ups used to work for Breitbart.
It is true.
I think so.
When I was in college, I actually went to Washington to lobby with a student group, lobby members of Congress on behalf of refuseniks, people who were prohibited from leaving the Soviet Union to emigrate to Israel. And I also collected signatures for non-Jewish dissidents. And that has, I'm an old Cold Warrior. Never liked commies. Don't like them now.
Mm-hmm. Talking to you, Zoran. Because he's a commie.
Welcome to the Michael Malice.
Oh, yeah, Michael Malice. This is the wall of fame for people who contributed to the studio.
That is so cool. I know some of those people.
Like, do you know Big Poppy?
I don't know Big Poppy. Okay, so I know Michael Malice. I don't know if I know.
Look, Matthew Hammond's on the wall of fame. And he's in the chat. That's why we love him.
But I know Matthew Hammond also. Doesn't Matthew Hammond show up on other shows?
He does. He has great taste in shows.
Yeah, Matthew. Let's see. Besides that, anyone else?
Do you know
Robert?
Big Pete Bear?
Don't I know Robert Cusack?
But you should,
I think I
if
do.
you don't. Berserker?
Well, anyway, guys, thank you for making this studio possible.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when the last time I did your show, when I did it remotely, and I said, hey, different studio.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I had previously done your show in the old studio.
Yes.
Which was like what? Like it was in Anne Frank's attic, right? Wasn't it? It was like a kind of a secret.
I never had this is my first studio. This is the first time I've had in-person guests. So maybe you're thinking
No, but when you were just doing your own stream, and no, it wasn't a studio, but you had a completely different background.
Yeah, different setup. Mm-hmm.
And you could see the sound muffling panels behind you.
Yes, that was the old studio. Yep, now I remember.
Now you remember. I refreshed your recollection, didn't I? Were you lying now, or are you lying then?
No, I just forgot, because I had like the muffle panels
But
up
it's not
behind
only
me.
that. Now you're a mom.
It changes your brain. It changes
It really changes a chick brain.
Dude, I did this
really
show.
Changes it.
I did this. I was doing a stand-up what's it, Monday? Last night. And there was a fat woman in the crowd and we're talking about having kids. And the old Chrissie would have immediately made a fat joke at her expense.
Really?
And yes, because it's just the easiest go-to. And we're talking about having kids. We're talking about how long, because I still need to lose a bunch of baby weight. And she was big. So I was setting myself up to be well, you clearly haven't lost any baby weight. Because I said, how many kids did you have? She said, before this, I said, how long do you have to lose baby weight? And she said, 30 years. And it was funny. It was a funny moment. Then I said, how many kids do you have? And she said 3. And the old Chrissie would have been yeah, you, something along the lines of yeah, you look yeah, I can tell, or something like that. But I in that moment, I was I don't want to be cruel to this woman. She hasn't done anything to me. If she was heckling me, it would be another story. But instead of what I would have said in the past, I made a different joke. And I was oh, so you have 90 years to lose the baby weight now, which was still funny, but not cruel. And I was
yes.
What? Did I just not take an opportunity to make a fat joke? I'm who am I? And I don't know. It's a bit unsettling.
Well, so the sages of the Talmud, I'm doing this on purpose to get under your. Some of you guys need to hear it. the laws for the qualification of being a judge on a Jewish court in criminal law matters require that a judge have children.
Oh,
because
okay.
if you've never had children, you're missing a mercy component to your personality.
For real. It's so true. And there was this 27-year-old girl stand-up comic, and she's talking about how she's never wants to have kids. And I was that's what I sounded like when I was 27. And I said, let me ask you something. Are you dating anybody good right now? And she's like, no. I'm that's why. I'm and get focused on meeting a good guy, and then you'll be amazed how quickly you'll revisit the kid issue. Because that's
really, you think so?
That's part of the propaganda with women. It's convince women that they'll don't settle, be single, don't trust guys, and then it's easier to get on board with the not having kids thing, because you don't have that foundation of a good partner.
Oh, really? So that's interesting.
Because if you're just with assholes, you're I don't want
right.
to. It's easier to have an abortion or just not want to get pregnant. If you're just dating horrible guys, you can be oh yeah, it's more of a disposable, transactional kind of relationship.
But don't even girls who find themselves pregnant through the relationship with the asshole still feel that's my baby?
Luckily was never in that position.
Thank God.
It's I can't imagine how traumatizing that must be. But I think they just,
it might depend.
Maybe they're not connected. I don't know. Because I've known some women who just they don't want to be connected to this guy, and they almost
yeah.
They put on this front of oh, I would have an abortion, because it's almost that's the armor that makes them have sort of girl boss toughness. That's what makes them an independent, feminist, modern woman, which is so sad. Because I think it's it's a woman's true purpose. Like it literally, like
Did you hear what she just said? Did you hear what she just said?
for real. And
That's
it doesn't
massive.
it
That's a
doesn't
massive
take
thing to say
away from your education or like your hobbies and shit, but it's like your actual vocation. Like
That's amazing.
Mm.
I think we're done.
okay. I think we had 2 more super chats come in and then we are really done. Oh, it's from your favorite, Rhinoceros. Rhinoceros for 1999. Wow, imagine if an anti-war anti-war in the Middle East lobbyist hit on Chrissie. This mother trucker is so ungrateful of all of our tax dollars for that region's retarded wars. Fuck y'all, cut it off. I don't quite Is he talking about you?
I don't think it's a question. I think it is an expression of unhappiness in his life.
Rhinoceros, don't take out anything on Ron
Imagine
here.
if-
He's a great guy.
But let's try to see what he's trying to say.
Imagine if an
anti-war in the Mideast
lobbyist, an anti-war.
hit on Chrissie.
I always welcome a cat call. It's you know what, women always go, oh, I don't want to be catcalled. But let me tell you, the day you stop getting catcalled, that's a sad day in a woman's life.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I'm trying. I think I might have figured this out. Imagine. Okay. So a war in the I'm having trouble with the anti-war in the Mideast lobbyist hit on Chrissie. Yeah, I don't know what he means.
I welcome
grateful for our
compliments.
textiles for that region's retarded wars. Fuck y'all, cut it off. Okay, Myra.
I want to understand.
Well, I do think that I don't know by Mother Trucker who he means, but let's assume he means me. And I have apparently expressed a lack of gratitude to him.
But you're not you're an American citizen.
I'm an American citizen. And he considers me for being nonetheless ungrateful for all of our tax dollars. He has no idea what I've paid in tax.
Yeah, you've also put money towards the wars. We all have.
I've been a lawyer for over 30 years. I've had some pretty decent years, you know. I might very well have put more money into the pot than Rhinoceros, but we don't know. For all our tax dollars for that region's retarded wars, by which I think he means retarded.
Retarded. Maybe he said it with a Boston accent.
Is he from Boston?
I don't know. Maybe.
Retarded. And then all of our tax, all that regions, so listen, my Rhinoceros, you just work this out and come back, and I'll let you ask me the question for free.
Oh. Okay, push-ups for 5. That's what Nathan told me that
Natan.
Natan. It's like baton with an N. That the Refuseniks helped the Soviet Christian groups make contact with human rights groups. They work together for freedom.
It's true. It's true.
Push-ups always ask good questions.
Well, people who legitimately understand why to hate communism, not just because it's the wrong team, but to understand that communism is a negation of liberty. And that is something that comes between people and their ability to worship God and makes the state the God. Or whether they're Christian or Jewish, they're going to find themselves in agreement.
You're probably one of the smartest guys I know.
Probably.
Micah, I feel like we could easily talk more and more hours, but let the fine people, I will have to have you back, Ron.
It's been such an incredible simulation.
It's
of real
flown
life.
by.
I'm glad you feel that way. I aim to entertain. And if I can inform along the way, so much the better.
You've done both. Where can people follow you, find you? What's coming up?
Ron Coleman on X is really the go-to because everything I do on every other platform ends up there. I'm not one of these 100,000 subscribers podcasts. My little YouTube channel only has 13,000 subscribers. Oh, sure. Your subscribers can go right now. And I mean, you did put my YouTube channel in your description, I'm sure. So it'll be
Maybe
no problem.
Rhinoceros will go and subscribe. I hope he does.
And then if he does, he should find a way to contact me, and I will do a live stream with him just answering. I'll answer all his questions and all the questions of other people who are angry at something. And seriously, I like answering questions, and I'm pretty good at it.
Ron, everyone go and follow Ron right now.
Thank you.
Follow his podcast on YouTube. Follow him on Twitter. He's a great follow. Get your tickets to Content House now. Go to villaroma.com, reserve your room, go to Eventbrite, buy your tickets for all of the events between September 3rd and 7th. Get ready for that 48-hour live stream that we're going to do. It's going to be so much fun. Check out my website, chrissymayr.com, and get tickets to see me do stand-up in a town near you. Thank you for watching NightMayr. We'll see you next time. We'll see you Wednesday. We will have comedian Carrie Louise, live here in studio. So we'll see you guys then. Bye.
I'm so glad we had this time together.
Together.